I'll call the meeting of the Proctor Public Utilities, April 12th, 2021 to order. Roll call, Shar?
Carolyn.
Here.
Phil Larson.
Here.
Jennifer Peterson.
Here.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
We'll move the agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Approval of the minutes from March 8th, 2021, and PUC special meeting of March 26th, 2021.
I'll move to approve the minutes from March 8th and March 26th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Approval of payrolls ending February 28th, March 14th, and March 28th.
I'll move to approve payroll.
Support.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Looks like I need to change the year on that one, February 28th,
Yes.
202.
Okay, we do have delinquent accounts if anybody wants to review them.
We still have the same two. We haven't done any disconnects or limiters since
Okay.
our initial push in October. So Megan has been doing phone calls. And so this is where we're at without having that. But I think we're going to want to look at maybe starting shutoffs or soon.
Yeah.
You know, the 15th is coming around. I had a meeting with MMUA. It was a small group meeting with a couple other communities. Grand Rapids was one of them, Grand Rapids Utilities, Princeton, and it was, gosh, there was another one there, I can't remember, but they said they are starting that as well. Princeton was using the limiters. Now, they're not in our 14 group municipal
That doesn't
group,
matter,
but
yeah.
they did limiters throughout this winter.
Okay.
But they just said the biggest thing they have found at MMUA is just document, which I know I've gone in there and Megan said has called, or she'll make a note on there
Okay.
on the one she's called, and I'll train Tammy on how to do that and how to look at that delinquent list and start, you know, kind of getting that out and starting the letters and so forth. But that is something we'll probably want to look at doing because we just still have those two limiters out there that we've had since October, two of them.
Any other concerns about shut-offs? Or we'll just go ahead? I mean, that's our policy.
It is our policy, yes.
Yeah, I think as long as customers are getting the communication that it's coming, you know, I think that's the most important thing.
Yep,
Have
we'll
a-
get a notice going out because we haven't. So I think it's just been verbal by Megan.
Yeah.
But I think we just need to get a notice out there and then we can start that because some of these
Well,
are out there since that
Yeah.
October push.
So the
Well,
limiters
before.
can go on when?
Well, we have two of them that were, otherwise they were all good and cleared up and either had payment plans as of October.
had
but-
any of them, do you know, applied for any kind of help or anything?
Those two, no.
Okay.
And so those are the ones you will find. It is on account number, in the middle, it's 4,000.
Yep.
And so that one there has been
Yeah.
out there since last March,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they stopped.
How can you not?
So we're gonna have to cut them,
Yeah.
do a full out cut, and maybe we'll get
Maybe
somewhere
shut the
with
water
them.
off too?
Yeah,
So is that one on a limiter now? It is, isn't it?
that's on a limiter.
Yeah.
So that account and the other account that's on a limiter is,
Wait, which one, which account number?
so on page 2,
Yep.
its account number right in the middle is 4,000.
00.
It's like towards the,
Yep, I see.
okay, yep, that one is on the limiter. And then the other one that we have on a limiter is, it is on the third page, and it's towards the top, it's 6700, 6,700. That one has been on a limiter since October.
So we haven't been sending out disconnect notices though, right? So I do feel like maybe a round of those notices should go out first.
Yep. And then they also said taking care of the furthest ones out there. They just said
Yeah.
document, you know, what you've done to get a hold of customers. And so those two definitely will get a final notice that we've got you on a limiter, but now you're going to be completely shut off.
So you post them first, and then
So-
you shut them off the next day?
Yep.
And you're just going to include anybody that's passed?
Yes. We'll hit the 3 periods overdue first.
Right.
We'll start at those, and then we'll just keep moving them back in. So
Okay.
we're going to start off with that group first, and
Shar, how does the overall arrears balance, how does that compare to what it looked like a year ago? Do you know off the top of your head?
I would say at this time of the year, right before shut-offs, it wouldn't be unusual for us to be around that 60, 70.
Okay,
So it is up from where we typically are.
okay,
And it's just been because of the last couple, since October,
sure.
yeah. Because Heather got it very cleaned up, right, you know, in the fall there.
Yep.
She really got it cleaned up. And we were right where we were the year before. I think Leslie had even mentioned that, or,
And the cold weather rule ends on the 15th, is that right?
April 15th,
Yeah.
yes.
April 15th it
Yes,
is?
April 15th. They talked about extending
day.
it another month. I haven't heard about that changing at all. I don't think MMUA did not say that that was going to happen.
Yeah,
That was
I
a
haven't
discussion, so,
Heard that either.
yeah.
Well, thanks for getting us that.
Yeah.
Nice to know.
Do you need a motion on that or no?
No, it's policy
I don't think so,
already.
yeah.
We have comments and suggestions from citizens present, and I just want to welcome Tammy.
Yes,
Welcome our new
Yeah,
employee.
welcome.
Everybody, I'm very excited to dig in.
when was your first day?
Today.
Oh,
Today. Tammy, this is Jennifer Peterson,
Hi,
Bill
Jennifer.
Larson,
Hi.
Carol Lynn,
Hello.
everyone else I'm assuming you met. John Bray, maybe, I don't.
Hi, John.
So John Bray is our attorney,
Okay.
and Jennifer works for Minnesota Power, so she comes from that electric side.
Oh, gotcha.
Phil is a retired master plumber, so he comes from the water side.
I saw your name on
And
my
then we
phone
got Carol,
list.
who managed the utilities for 20 years, so,
We're very well-rounded.
yeah. So we got a really good group.
Great.
Okay, anything?
Everybody's been wonderful today.
Oh, great,
Good.
welcome.
Thank you.
Anything from our contractors?
No, we just had a water tap that went all right here. And we did have, which I talked about last month, that we've got the bill here for that water break. So not too terribly bad for that one. but-
No, I got a question on that.
Yeah.
I talked to Casey.
Yep,
The one for $2,800
yep.
shows up here, and I'm wondering if we go back to the bills, there's bills for Ferguson that had I believe it was a saddle, a 12 by 1 inch saddle.
Yes, and that one is actually for the water tap. That's actually for the $190 water tap. That's
Okay,
what that
so
saddle's
those
for.
parts weren't for this break,
Nope.
that was, okay, that was my question.
Nope, that bill was for the water tap.
Okay.
Yep.
So
And
that
so
was
he had
from-
2 on there, and then I had to return one, or he returned one, because he wasn't sure if they were tapping off the 8-inch or the 12-inch there.
Sure.
So,
And it's not a bad thing to have some of those on hand.
yeah,
And Pat had told me that the one that was in January off of Kirkus Street, that was, they had done a saddle, electro-fused saddle, that didn't take.
Oh,
So now, and he's researched a little bit, now his policy will be for continuing on to go to the full saddle that clamps on mechanically, it's not fused, it's more of a sure thing, so.
because we have that, it's the plastic wiring,
Right.
that, yeah, HDPE, so you can't do it, it's a different kind of a tap,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's more sure,
yeah.
yeah.
okay, report of office, we have the MMUA capital letters here and the meeting update, and Shar did allude to some of that a few minutes ago.
Yes, that regional meeting update, that was really interesting for them, just kind of run down what MMUA has been busy doing, and I think they're gonna try and do more of these little small group meetings. And so, like I said, a good portion of that was talking about the shut-offs at the end. They did kind of a little presentation on what they've done around the state and so forth, and we also discussed allowable spending of PUC funds, which we can talk about further down in the communications there.
Well, as long as we're talking about it, because we're not going to go into a closed session with this. MMUA did state that it's not something that PUC should get into, paying for these. Because it just leads to more. Someone else is going to say,
Right.
I need help with my feasibility study, or,
They said when they're bringing new businesses in, and this is talking with Grand Rapids, Princeton, and some of these other utilities, North Branch, I think was the other one that was there, that when they're trying to get businesses in, that it would be never to pay for a feasibility study. They said it's, they'd work under the terms of their contract, whether it's a revenue guarantee, on the electrical, you spend so much.
I mean, we already do some of that
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So they just said that's not really appropriate use. That would be more something that they would see a developer pay for, or the
Sure.
EDA.
Well,
Not
that's-
something they would recommend. And that was the municipals themselves and also MMUA.
That's such a great resource to have them to kind of bounce things like that off of.
Well, and
Yes.
we've never contributed to any kind of a sports thing, or, because it would just be never ending. And these are public funds, and we're raising rates. So why take money from the customers to pay for something they don't know about, or
Yeah.
it's not utility related? So I just, unless you guys think we should, but
No.
MMUA says it's not really a good thing to do,
I
so.
I concur.
would like to follow MMUA's guidance on that.
All right, what else do we have?
Okay, on the MMUA, first sentence, the temperatures climbed and the natural gas went down. I think it was the opposite. The temperatures went down and the gas prices went up.
Yeah. You're right.
But my question was, did that affect us as, we're not a generator, we're not buying gas, but it must have had some effect with our billing from Minnesota Power and their generator.
Yes, our fuel adjustments did
Yeah.
increase. So because if they've got to go out to the market for any of that, and, it's not just, they've got a mixture. When we purchase our power, it's a mixture of gas and, carbon, wind,
Sure.
water,
Yep.
whatever, it's all that. And so when we do have, that will reflect on us, even though it's not in our per kilowatt hour rate, it still is going to reflect in our fuel adjustments for the month, so.
So would we be, I don't think they've approved this yet, it's still trying to work its way through would we be eligible for any of that zero interest financing for?
I think that was mainly for the gas utilities.
For the gas utilities, is that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
like a
And that
comfort
comes under the
system.
Electrical Utility Commission as well?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I know that the municipal gas utilities, so the electric side might be hit a little bit, but they're hit like crazy hard.
Sure.
So-
In my mind, I was thinking because of the gas generation that's
Right,
going on so
right.
much more now, more than coal,
Yeah.
whether it would have had effect on our bottom lines or,
Have you seen that yet, Shar? I know there's a lag before it.
On this last bill, yes, the one that we just received for March.
Okay.
There was some of that reflected in there. But that also it's in our fuel adjustment, so it's one of the things we would pass on as, our rider on our bills anyways.
Sure.
Line item
All
on our
right.
bills, so.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, anything else on that? And we had our NEMPA update, and we are starting to negotiate with Minnesota Power. And Minnesota Power does want us to
This
have a
non-disclosure agreement.
have the confidentially and non-disclosure agreement signed. And we've done this before, and it'll be over the next couple of years. We'll be negotiating and working this stuff out, and it should not be public.
So what they are requesting is that in our meetings, if we're going to be talking about this, about any of the negotiations that are going on, that we go into closed session.
So I maybe need a motion to approve this confidentiality agreement.
I'll make that motion to approve the confidentiality agreement with,
I'll second it. All in
Who's got it?
favor?
Who's
Carol's got it.
Carol?
I didn't know if it would be a conflict. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Okay. Our booster pump station discussion?
So our meeting's canceled. Did I just see that?
Yes, I just got that.
Did that just come across?
Like, right before I
Yeah.
came here, I
Oh,
saw it.
okay.
About, yeah. So, yeah, for COVID protocols. So we have to look at rescheduling, and they're talking about maybe doing it virtually instead of at the meeting site.
Oh, okay.
Weren't we gonna do it outside?
That's what we had planned. That was our plan. It's posted
So-
and everything for a Thursday meeting at 3 o'clock, but now they said they've got to cancel for COVID protocols, so I'm guessing somebody tested positive.
Okay,
Oh,
okay. So
There's a
they'll
lot of
let us
that
know.
going around.
Yeah.
All right.
So that is on hold for right now, but he did say that they're moving forward. The contractor's still moving forward, getting things ready. It's not holding up. It'll just be that. So they're still starting work on our,
And have they had any other questions other than,
no,
and you talked to Jay about the fence,
yep,
just going up to the front of the building.
yep.
And
And
we
that's one
wouldn't need a
thing.
zoning request for that then?
No,
because
we
it's-
wouldn't need a variance or a
It wouldn't
zoning.
be a front thing,
Or we'd still need a zoning permit for it, but not a variance request.
right?
We still, any fences, there's a zoning permit,
Zoning
so,
permit, Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So I'll make sure that SEH takes care of that. But they said we can discuss that at the meeting and let the contractor know what we're interested in when we have the pre-construction. Because we're not doing any of that right now anyways, but,
Okay.
so I just,
Any other things about the booster station that we need to discuss?
I was hoping I'd have their bill, their monthly bill this month, but I think I'm just getting them right after the meeting, so we don't have a bill to approve.
We had one last month. was the
Yeah,
other
we
one.
did, so now I'll
Yeah.
be a month behind again, but.
Okay. Okay, we have our financial statements.
Shar, on the MP bills, where are we at in that vegetation management cycle? Are we done with, I just can't remember where, I know we had them trimming kind of high priority areas.
Yes, and in fact, Rocky did call me probably about 2 weeks ago, just to let me know that he was in the area, checking things out again. We're doing the same thing.
Okay.
Time and materials, we budgeted for 100,000. Time and materials gonna take care of the hot spots, because he found some other ones. He says if we do this probably for this year and next year, we should be able to get on a regular schedule of doing sections of town. So
Okay.
he will go through like the whole part of town like he did last year and focus on the bad areas.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah. He said that he wanted to get a list to the tree trimmers because they're going to be ready to start. He says we'll have some free time here opened up, and he'd like to just filter us in through whenever they have downtime for projects with Minnesota Power, which will be perfect.
Sure, great.
And that, on our bill, if you're looking here on that second page, the resale energy adjustment that we have, that's usually been about half that, so kind of doubled.
That's the one that's probably, okay, I was wondering that. And which one is that, Shar? There's,
It's on the second page of our Minnesota Power bill.
Yep,
It's on 4A. It's under the resale energy adjustment.
okay, gotcha, 497?
Yep.
Okay,
It's usually about half that or below. It's been running a little higher for the winter, about half that, but usually it's less than that even.
Shar, on the financial statements, have you gotten any, did you get any calls with like the rate changes? Any customer calls? Or not,
No,
not really?
not anything, maybe when they were just calling to pay a bill
Yeah,
and they would ask about it, but not anybody,
okay,
no.
great. That's
Yeah.
good.
I think it was pretty, explained pretty well in the letter, I think.
Shar, on the Minnesota Power dues, or Power 4B,
Yep,
I believe it was last month, we had that strong wind, and we had an outage that lasted several hours. Remember I called you, it was up behind my house in
yep,
the fairgrounds?
yep.
Was that on last, or has that bill not come through yet, or was that even charged to us?
That was on, I always bring
Was
my
it on
last month's packet with me, so. I have
Last
it here.
month's, or,
Yeah, I believe that was on last month's. Just check here. It is. No, that was not on this one either. I was thinking, why was I thinking it was on this one?
Was it not on our, were we affected, but it wasn't on our part of the system?
well, that's what I was wondering.
Because I kind of thought it was on the other side.
Oh, you're talking about when the whole city was out?
Yeah,
Yeah, that had nothing to do with us. That
Oh.
was on 223. That was on our main feeder line. That's when I said that they really need to look at. It was
So,
the whole, it was,
I was seeing the sparks in my backyard, though.
oh, that one you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, and that's when
That
the
one.
town went out for, I think it was about 3 hours that night. Remember, I called you, I can.
Yeah, but that's not the same one we're thinking of. I'm
Oh, I
thinking of
was
the
thinking of-
223 one.
yeah.
I know which one you're talking about now, yes.
Was
Where they
that
had a
ever
video.
billed, or?
No.
I was wondering, well, that whole area would be Proctor because of the St. Louis County Fairgrounds.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they were thinking it was Duluth.
Well, that's
I'm
fine
not-
too, but
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I didn't see it come through in the bills, and that's why I was
Yeah.
wondering.
Yeah, you're right. It's not on here.
I wonder if it started on the other side of the boundary. I don't know.
Well, I can see the sparks through my,
Wow.
and I think somebody on
Yeah.
Boundary Avenue seen it too, so it was
Yep,
in that old ice rink arena, or
The
ice
outdoor
rink
rink.
arena, in that area is where it was.
yeah. Yeah, so it's not on either of these billing statements. Maybe it was our, because it's so close to our border there, maybe it was
That was March 10th.
on our transfer.
I believe it was March 10th.
Yeah,
And we were getting a lot of blips. It was going on and off, on and off, on and
It
off.
was
And then
very,
when
very
I was
windy.
talking to you,
mm-hmm,
they said, whoa.
yeah, it was
And
crazy.
then they went out and, okay.
Yeah, there was,
So I haven't seen that
So-
come through yet.
no, I could ask and see.
Well, I would.
Do you want to bill us for it? I don't know. But, yeah, like Jennifer said, maybe, because it's on our border there, maybe it started on on our feed from Duluth, you know, transferred on the other side.
Yeah. Okay.
Any questions on the income statement? Approval of the bills?
I'll move to approve the bills.
No support?
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Yeah, it was a pretty reasonable month.
So, you, Jennifer, made the motion? Sorry.
yes.
And,
Yeah.
and Phil seconded? Okay.
I had highlighted one thing here.
Sure.
It was only for $121. In Ocean Enterprise,
Oh, that's a deposit return. So they were, handling, it's a foreclosed property. So that it's one of the companies that the bank will hire to come and winterize, and they have to take care of
Oh.
the utility bills. So they put down a deposit in order to transfer it into their name, so it's just refunding their deposit.
I see,
'cause they're no
I
longer
see.
there.
okay. That's all I had on that.
Okay. And then we have communications. 6A, the city newsletter on the back of the utility bills.
Yeah.
You know, I think you guys are doing a great job, and it really doesn't matter to me if you guys just want to figure it out and agree.
So I think the way Sally had worded it was, you know, approval by Puck, which it's me looking at it. And I've only brought him here because, you know,
Well,
if they weren't in the bills yet, if the bills hadn't gone out yet, just
Is
for you
it
to
something you
take a
think
peek
we
at
have to
'em.
approve as a board?
No,
every
I
month?
thought we were under the consensus that,
Yeah.
that Char would deal with it. Now, if it was something that maybe set off a flag to her, she would be in contact with you.
Yeah,
You know,
Yep.
you don't want anything real political or
No,
anything, just
no.
highlighting one business
mean,
or
but
something, whatever. But
Just, this is a great
city
letter.
information, this is great.
Yeah.
yeah.
If we
So they-
could,
So that's, I just included the one we have going out in the bills, and then the other one Jess had here for the brush pickup,
Yep.
which, that will take up the whole thing, so we won't have a little blurb in there next time, because this will be the whole backside, which will be great, because this is a huge
Yeah,
community event that a lot of people use, so.
yes, it is.
So we just won't have anything next time, and that's it.
I wonder how they're gonna secure the brush pile in the fairgrounds.
It's going away. After this year, that brush pile is going to stop. We're gonna do the brush compile. We're gonna collect. We're gonna pile. We're gonna chip it, and then we're closing that site, and we're opening up a new site in a super secret, undisclosed location.
So that's the part in
It's
there in
gonna-
red where it says notice.
It's gonna go off of the
Well,
the
I
dumps.
seen that, but I just wasn't
Yeah.
buying it.
It's too big of an open space and too unsecure, and actually it creates quite an eyesore for the fairgrounds area. So
It does, it does.
we tried. It was unsuccessful. So we're moving it to the old dump site on Uggstead
Okay.
Road.
They can secure that,
Yeah,
yeah,
better. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Cameras up
Yeah,
there.
good.
See who's dumping garbage.
Yep.
I like them both.
Shar, would you mind continuing to put them in the packet, though?
Yeah, yeah.
Would be great.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to do. It wasn't that we were waiting on you guys to
Yep.
approve them or anything to move forward. It was just, I included them if, you know, just as informational.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, then we have some information from our city administrator, Jess. And we do have to approve the wage reopener for
Our Puck
Shar,
account.
our accountant. Shar, we did yours last time, right?
Yep, so Ivy's
that's
already
all
done.
done.
It's the same exact thing as everybody else's. Same thing, no change.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I need a motion to approve the wage
So the,
reopener agreement.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So then we can just get this signed and that'll be done.
Okay. Do we need to do something on the reopening plan, or just, is that just informational?
No, I think if
Do we have to approve it?
Yeah, well, we just more or less wanted your input on it. We're kind of looking at a hybrid reopening plan, which includes employees coming back to work full strength on May 1st, opening up the doors, certain doors during business hours. Meetings will be called back to order here, continued to be broadcast on Track 7. We're going to ask guests who want to address the commissions or councils to pre-register or reserve. And if we go over a 15 threshold for reservations, then the meeting is going to be moved to viewing it on Track 7 for the public. You would still continue to meet. I don't think that we've probably had more than 15 people at meetings for a while, but maybe people will be interested after the reopening. But at least that gives us a way to monitor the social distancing in the room.
Okay, so,
You know, and if you do have that, they should have a sign-in sheet so that if something does happen, you could call them or something.
Yep. It's a
they've
good
always
idea.
had a sign-up sheet, for.
Yeah,
City
they-
councils, yeah.
Yeah.
We never have really have
So
anybody
the
here.
15 people, does that include
No, that's in addition to commission
in
and
addition
staff.
to?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, guests will be asked to reserve if they'd like to attend the meetings?
Mm-hmm.
And is there a deadline for that, or?
We'll see how it goes. Like I said, looking back, I haven't seen attendance more than 15 for quite some time. So what I'm just more worried about is a hot topic coming up and 50 people showing up and we don't
Yeah.
have space for social distancing.
And-
But for
They're just
city
gonna-
council, don't they have?
Well, and that's what I'm thinking about.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And
What's that?
They have more than 15 for city council.
Oh, yeah, well, a lot of times, they used to, not so much anymore, but,
Oh,
yeah.
like, but when they
Well,
were
we've been
typically,
COVID,
yeah.
for a year now. So.
we'll see
that's
how
why
it
I was
goes.
wondering about that's where I was going with this, if you have to, if there's a deadline or, like a lot of times I try to get to the agenda and see what's on the agenda, and that's what would determine whether I come to a meeting or not. So a lot of times agendas don't come out until Friday afternoon. So then would I reserve Monday?
I would
Call it
think so.
Monday morning, or?
It's a good point, though. I'll talk with Megan about it and
Yeah.
Mayor and see what they think about it, but
Okay,
it's a
thank
good
you.
point. And all the other regulations will be updated in our preparedness plan according to the governor's new rules with face masks and social distancing, sanitization, ventilation, all of those things. We've gotten our city ventilation system cleaned and serviced and filters changed. And so I think we're ready to go, and it could change at any time. If numbers start creeping up again, then we can revert back to closing things down. The mayor's orders are still in effect, so.
Okay. So then, just one more question on line 7, employees will return back to work on May 3rd. We will reopen to public under the above plan on Monday, May 17th. So what does that mean, open to the public, as far as these commission meetings go, the council meetings, the offices?
Yep, so the City Hall Police Department front door will be open like it has been all through COVID. The City Hall door going into the reception area will be open. The police door will be open, but guests won't be allowed to go beyond those entry
Okay.
points. The PAC door will be open, and then that way, as PAC clients or people who use that service come through the hallway, Jocelyn, the community ed person, will be able to monitor people coming through the hallway. We'll keep this door locked during business hours, however, except for food shelf day. And food shelf will remain curbside for some time.
Beyond that May 17th
Yes.
date, it will?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Do you want us to approve any of this, or just to say we'll follow what the city chooses? to
Yeah,
go
I think
with,
just
or-
your blessing to move forward with it would be great.
Okay. I'll make a motion to do that. To just go by the rules the city is setting up and
Follow what City Hall
follow
is
it.
doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
So then nothing really has to go into a closed meeting tonight, right?
No, if we've already kind of discussed allowable spending.
And welcome, Tammy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yay.
I think you're the last thing on our agenda here.
Save the best for last.
So I guess we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Support?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.